Hello people, my name is Ferdy and in this tutorial I will show you how you can create a custom header using Elementor Pro. Let me show you what we will cover in this tutorial. I will show you how to create this header from scratch with a transparent area and a top header, and when we scroll down we can make sure that we display another header. We will make use of a simple drop-down menu, but you can also build mega menus in Elementor Pro. And of course I will show you how. In Elementor Pro you can assign any area in your website to any place, so I decided to show this header only on the homepage and on all archive pages. But on all the other pages I show a different header with another logo, white background and a purple background in the top header. And of course we'll make sure that everything we create in Elementor Pro will be optimized for all devices. This tutorial is part of a complete Elementor Pro tutorial that you can watch for free by going to ferdy.com/Elementor Pro. Hit enter and there you see the tutorial and all the other tutorials that are attached to that tutorial, so you can learn anything you need to learn in order to create amazing websites using Elementor Pro. If you don't have Elementor Pro yet, let me show you how you can get it. You can go to ferdy.com/Elementor. Hit enter and you will be redirected to the Elementor Pro plugin page. There are 4 plans. If you take a look at the essential plan, that's for one website, but it does not have all the widgets there are. And it's also missing a few important features we need in this tutorial. So I would go for the advanced plan. It's 99 euros or dollars per year. You can install it on 3 websites. You have premium support and 82 widgets. And you also have the pop-up builder, custom code and CSS, e-commerce features and collaborative notes. Now let's continue with this tutorial. In order to create a heading on our website or a header, we need to go to the backend, so over here, and then go to templates and theme builder, or you go to Elementor, click on the Elementor logo and go to the theme builder. Here we can create a custom header, footer, single post template, single page template, archive, search results, loop item, and then 404 page. I want to create a header. So I click on the header and by default it opens up in Elementor, and now I can make use of a template, but I prefer to start from scratch. So I close this, I click over here on the icon and I give this a name. I call this one home page header. It can be for the whole website, but I want to use this header specifically for the homepage. I can assign any header to any page in the website, and that's the power of Elementor Pro. So I click on publish and then it asks me where I want to display this. If I click on add condition, by default, I will include it on the entire website, but I prefer to go for a singular page and the front page. Save and close. So now I can create a new area over here. I click on the plus. I go for a flex box. Let's see, arrow to the right, from left to right. And the first thing I want to do here at the container, I want to go to the style, to the classic background, choose a color and choose a secondary color. So if I publish it and I click on the eye, this is how it looks. If I go to the homepage by removing all this stuff, I don't see the header. Why? Well, because the homepage is a canvas and not a full width template. So I go to the Elementor editor. And then here at the settings, page settings, I change it from Elementor canvas to Elementor full width. So from now on, it will have a heading and it will have a footer, which we'll create later. So now, if I go to the homepage, I have a header over here. Super cool. Well, that's the header. Thank you for watching this tutorial. No, just kidding. Let's configure this. So I want to add a few things over here. So I click on the element and I want to go for an image. After that, I click on the plus. I want to go for a menu. I go for the WordPress menu. I drag it here at the right. And then the latest thing is a button. Drag it here at the right. This is what I want to display. And now I want to make it look better. So if we would go to the homepage, let's do that in a minute, because first I want to add an image by clicking here, choose an image. It can be a PNG logo, but what we also can do, I click on the eye, go to the backend, to Elementor settings. I go to advanced, and then here at enable unfiltered file uploads. If I enable this, I can also add SVGs, which are smaller and sharper, have a higher resolution. So it's already activated. So I click over here, upload files, select files, and then I go to my logo. And then I go for my logo. 3 kilobytes, open it, select it. Okay. I don't see it because it's a dark background. So let me fix it in a minute. I click over here, go to the style, change the color background to white. Okay. I click over here. I want to change the text to free course. The page, free course. But I don't like how this is displayed. So what I will do, I click over here. I go to the style, to the width, and I change it to pixels and I say 200. Not too big. Then I go over here. I'm okay with this. Okay, what I see, there is space between all the elements. So I go to the container. I scroll down here at layout. And then I say the gap should be 0. What I also see is that there's a difference in the height of this area. So I'll bring it to the center. So here at container layout, align items center. Now they're in the center vertically. Then I want to change the height. So what I will do, at advanced, I go to the padding, uncheck this. So there's no padding, but I go to the layout and then I say minimum height. Let's make it 70. I click over here, style, the color. I think the text color is great. Then I go to the typography. I make it uppercase. I make it bold. Now it's on 2 lines. So what I will do, typography, increase it. What you see when I make it smaller, this goes to the left. I don't want it. I want this to be completely 100% at the right and this at the left. So I go to the container, I scroll down and I go for justify content, space in between. So this in the middle, in the center, this at the left, and this completely at the right. And now I can make this bigger. Not too big. Publish. So if I would go to the home page, I need to make this a link. So I click over here, content. And over here at link, I say custom URL and I just say /. It will bring it to the home page. So I click over here. Okay. So you see the lines really nicely. Also here, but I'm not happy with the size. This should be bigger. So what I can do a few things. I can make this smaller. So I can say 180, but I like 200. So let's stick with 200. This is also fine. So I need to do some things over here. I click on it and then I go to the horizontal padding. If I would say 1, everything's closer to each other. So first I want to bring this to 16. Now I can play around with the space in between. This is fine with me. Okay. The text color is this color. When I hover over it, I want it to be orange. So let me see. Hover, text color, orange. The pointer color, also orange. And when it's active, also both orange, like this. I publish it. Let's see how it looks on the home page. Well, I think this can be smaller. So I click over here. And then I can increase this. It gives, yeah, I think that's better. Here at content, I see that I selected the main menu. If I want to create a submenu, I go to the customizer. I go to menus, main menu, and I add a few pages. For instance, a course, affiliate marketing course. The second one, WordPress course. The third one, e-commerce course. I can all place them over here. I also get rid of the free course over here because I already have that in the button. So this will be gone. Like that. And now this looks like that. So now we can configure this. Let me close this and edit it in Elementor again. So I want to adjust this. This can look better. So I click over here. Okay, so here at Style, I go for the drop down text color. It can be the text color. The background, it can be white, like that. But when I hover over it, I don't want to display it like this. I want to display it like the color is white. And the background, I want it to be the secondary color, but then much lighter color. And then the text should be dark. Okay, then I go to typography. Let's increase this. 16, transform uppercase. Okay, let's make it 14. But I can make it 700 in boldness. Okay. Then I want to have a round edge for the submenu. So in order to do that, I go over here to the border radius 20. Like that. I want to have a bit more space over here. So I can say distance 20 pixels. Let's make it 10. I like it. There's more you can do if you want to. You can go to the colors of the hover, make the text color white. This is secondary color. How about light purple? Yeah, I like it. Great. So far, so good. Let's see how it will look if we make this bigger again, since we got rid of the free course page. How about 15? Then if we go to the home page, it looks like that. I want to increase this a bit more. So the submenu, the drop down, let's say 16. Publish, homepage. So there's a small gap over here. I like it. When I go to a different page, it's not visible because we assign it only to the homepage, this header. So far, I think it looks nice. Let me show you how to create another area on top of your header. But there's more we can do. I want to click on the plus. I want to add a new area from left to right. I want to add 3 things over here. So the first one is rating. The second one, a heading. And then the third one, another heading. Like that. I go to the style of the rating and I say the color should be the orange one. Over here, I go to H3 and I add a text. 4.9 based on 300 reviews. Then I go to the style. Text color is text. And the typography, (14), and then typography weight bold. And there's the second one. You know what? I can get rid of this. The same style. Now I can say over here, trusted by 120,000 students and 1 million plus subscribers. I could go over here to advanced, uncheck this. Then I go to the layout, minimum height. Well, how about 40? Then I go back to the container and I want to justify the content to the center. And I want this to be at the right. And I don't want this to be bold. So I go to the style and say default. If I want to get rid of this or I want to bring this to the end, I can click over here, go to advanced and make it grow. So it will push everything else to the side. So this is how our header looks. Let's make it look better. If I go to the homepage, it looks like this. I want to do something interesting. I close this, and now if I edit this with Elementor, look at this. Now I can edit the heading and the page. So if I want to add a header, I click on the header. Now I'm editing the header. But if I click over here, now I'm editing the page. So what I want to do here at the page container, I go to advanced and I want to decrease this. So I want to bring this up. How about -70? Then I click on publish and I go back to the header. And at the header, I need to go to the structure, to the container. And there I say at advanced z-index 10. So it will be in front of everything else. Then I want to go back to the page. Keep in mind, this is how it looks. There's almost no space over here. So I want to increase the space with 70 pixels. So I go to the hero layout. That's okay. At the padding, I want to increase this with 70. Publish. Now I want to edit the header. What I want to do, I want to make use of a transparent background over here. So what I will do, I call this one the top header. This one the main header or heading header. So for the main header, I go to the style, background color, get rid of it. Then I want to go to the menu over here, go to the style, text color, make it white. Now I want to go over here, choose an image. I want to go for the light SVG image, white, select, there you go. So now it looks like this. Awesome. It's not sticky. So what else can we do with this? Our header looks great, but it's really important to optimize it for all devices. Let me show you how you can do that. If we scroll down, it's not sticky. We'll take a look at it later. First, I want to take a look at the mobile responsibility. No, mobile responsiveness, not the responsibility. Even though you need to be responsible for your website to be responsive on a mobile and on a tablet. In order to do that, we go to the backend. Let's get rid of this. This is how it looks on a normal screen. Let's go to the tablet and then it looks like that. Let's fix that. So I can bring back the structure, go to the top header, and then at advanced, I uncheck this and then I say 0, 45, 0 and 45. Then I go to the layout and I change the gap to 10 pixels. So there's not much space over here. This looks great. Then I go to the main header. I go to advanced, uncheck 0, 45, 0, 45. Now I want to take a look at the order. I want to show the logo here at the left, at the center, or not at center, but at the right, I want to show this hamburger icon. And before that, at the left of this area, I want to show the free course. So in order to change the order, I click on this element. I go to advanced, and then at order for the tablet, I say this should be at the end. Like that. Well, I want this to be next to this area. So I click over here on the logo. I go to advanced, and then I say size, grow, and only for the tablet it will grow. Like that. So this will be pushed to the side, but then here I need to go to the style and bring it to the left. Perfect. And this looks weird. So I click over here, advanced, and then at the width I say custom, and I say 50. Like that. Well, I go to the style. Let's not go to the main menu, but to the toggle button. The color, I want it to be white. And the background color, well, there are a few things we can do. This can be an option. This can be an option. How about the secondary color? Like that. Okay, what I don't like is that it's vertically not in the center. How can we fix that? Okay, let me detach this. Go to a tablet view. It's not in the center. How can we fix that? We click on it. And then I go to content. And at the drop down, I say full width. And that will bring it to the center. Let's see. Perfect. Then this looks like that. Let's adjust that a bit. So how can we do that here at the WordPress menu? I want the text to be in the center. Like that. I want to have more space. So let's take a look at that. Text alignment, the toggle button. I want it to be a hamburger. Normal. When I hover over it, I can have an animation. So if I would say grow and I publish it, it would grow. But I want to take a look at the drop down. So over here, there's not much information. So I go to the style, close this, drop down. So how does it look? This is already fine. It's the same as on the submenu. But I want to take a look at the vertical padding for the tablet. I want to increase that to 16. Like that. I want to have more space between the drop down in this area. So I go to the distance, let's say 20. Okay, let's say 30. Now there's a space. 18. Let's see how that will look. I think that's great. Free course, submenu. How does it look on a mobile? Well, there's a lot of information over here. I click on trusted by 120,000 students. I go to advanced and I want to get rid of that for the mobile only. So I go to layout, close it. I go to responsiveness and then I say hide it on a mobile portrait. And then it will be gone. If I want to see how it looks, I can click on this heading and click on the eye and it will disappear. So that looks great. On a mobile, it looks like this. Okay, let's take a look at the top header. Advanced. I want to uncheck this and say 0, 30, 0, 30. And on the main header, advanced, uncheck 0, 30, 0, 30. Publish. So now it looks like this. And I'm happy with that result. Let's go back to the normal screen. So that's how we can create a header and make it look like this. What I want to do now, I want to show you how you can show a different menu when you scroll down. We're gonna do that using a little bit of custom CSS, but no worries, I will show you step by step how you need to apply this. I want to make the header sticky, but first I want to take a look at this space over here. So I go to the backend, to the upper section, and then here at gaps, 0 or 10. Let's say 0. Okay, let's say 10. Then for the tablet, let's see if it needs some changes. Also 10. And for the tablet, the smartphone, it's also fine. So otherwise the space in between is quite a lot. So if I refresh this, that's better. So how can we make this sticky? Really simple. Just select the container you want to use. Go to advanced, just close the layout, go to motion effects, sticky on the top. Publish it. So now only this area will stick with us. So I scroll down and it sticks with us. There's only one thing. It makes use of no background. So how can I change this when I scroll down? Well, there are a few ways we can do this. I will use for me the simplest one, and that's we're going to create another header that sticks with us when we scroll down. Okay, so let me show you how we can do that. First, let me close this because I don't like this glitch. So if I click on the home page, edit with Elementor. Now it's there, and now this is there. So let's continue. In order to make this work properly, I need to go to the hero, and I set -70 over here. Why? Because I have the transparent background. If I put this to 0, this looks weird. But I need to do it this way because I want to make the minus margin from the header, not from the page. So I go to the header, main header. So here I say at the bottom, -70. So we have the same result, but it's better for what we're about to do, because what I want to do, I want to create a new header when I scroll down. So right now, I scroll down, nothing happens. That's exactly what I want. But what I want is that when I scroll down, a new header appears over here. How can we do that? Let me show you. I duplicate this, main header, double click, and I call this one main header sticky. And for the sake of the illustration, I will go to advanced and top and say 100. So I know that this is the new sticky header, but I don't like it, how it looks. So I go to the style, the background, it can be white. And I prefer to go over here because there's a, it's a -70 from the bottom. So when I click over here, I go to the page. I don't want to go to the page, so I go to the image over here. I change it to the dark logo. I go to the WordPress menu, style, change it to text. That's it. It's already optimized for all devices. Now I click over here. I get rid of this 0. So now it's on top of the other one, the other transparent background. So now I don't see the transparent background anymore. I am not a CSS guru. CSS is cascading style sheets, and it helps you to style your website. And actually WordPress and Elementor Pro are doing that for us. We drag a slider and then the CSS code is changed based on our slider. So we do the fun stuff, the easy stuff, and Elementor Pro and WordPress are doing the hard stuff. Well, in some cases it can be that you need to use your own custom CSS. I'm not a CSS guru, but I know a few things and I will show you those. So I will teach you how you can adjust a few things in your website using custom CSS. In order to show the transparent header when we open the website and the white header when we scroll down, we need to get a script. You need to go to ferdykorp.com. It will probably look different than what you're seeing right now on the screen. So I go to tutorials. You need to go to the Elementor Pro tutorial. I scroll down. And then I need to go for complete change of header on scroll. So I copy this area, Command C. Then I go to the main header sticky, advanced layout. I scroll down and here I say at CSS classes, sticky dash header, publish. Then I close this and I go to Custom CSS and I paste this. Sometimes that does something really weird. So Command Z, sticky header, Custom CSS. Let's try it again. Yes, now it's working. And this is the result I have. I think it looks amazing. Now, of course it's not. Let me configure it a bit further. First, I want to make the white area sticky. So the main header sticky. I go to layout, motion effects, sticky, top. Okay. There's an animation, but I don't want to display this right now. So what I want to do, main header sticky, advanced, motion effects. What I want to say, I want to have an offset effect or effect offset. I want this to appear after 250 pixels. Then that animation will appear. So now it's gone. Perfect. But when I scroll down after 250 pixels, now it appears. And maybe you think, hey, but it's behind this area. That's no problem, because if you're a visitor like this, I open this in an incognito window. It opens like that. I scroll down and now the new header appears. I scroll back up. Perfect. That's the power of Elementor Pro. You can create it exactly as you have in mind. You can decide for yourself if you want to display this on a different device. So you scroll down and this appears. I prefer not to do so. So I go to the main sticky header, advanced, and then motion effects, sticky on desktop, not on a tablet, and not on a mobile. And what I also can do, I can go to responsive. For the whole header, I say, don't show this at all. For a tablet and a smartphone, I prefer not to have sticky headers. So right now it's shown. Let me open it in an incognito window. But when I make it smaller, refresh, nothing happens. And also for a phone, refresh, it doesn't happen. Exactly what I want. So that's how you can create a header. Of course, I chose this, but you can choose different things. So I'm happy with the result, except for one thing. There's a lot of space over here. So I can switch to the page, go to the hero. What happens if I get rid of this? Okay, that's 30. And I will also get rid of all the animations because it's making everything a bit slower. I'm also recording. Publish. Better. Only this and those three appear. I'm happy with this, but it can be that you want to create something else. Well, be my guest. Feel free to do that. If I go to the other pages, this does look ugly. So how can I make sure that this looks better? Well, let me go back to the header. What I want to do, click over here, save as a template. I call this one white header sticky. Save. There it goes, white header sticky. I close it. Now I can go to the theme builder. I have two global parts, so it's already saved over here. That's interesting. I can go to the headers and there it is. The same as the homepage because I saved it as a template, but it has no instances. What does it mean? Over here, it is shown on the front page, as you see. But if I go to the about page, there's nothing. So what I want to do, I want to adjust this one. So let me edit it in Elementor. Then I go over here, go to the style, make it white. Then I go to the image, make it dark. Then I go over here to the menu, also make it dark. Then I can go over here if I want to go to the style. Classic. Light purple. Click here. Make it white. And also here, make it white. Otherwise, I think it's a bit weird to have two light areas over there. So now if I scroll down, it does not stick with us, but the sticky header appears. I like to prefer that to keep the same style on the whole website. I published it without thinking, but let me walk you through these settings. I clicked on publish, and now since I am publishing it for the first time, it says, where do I want to display this template? Well, actually, I want to include it on the entire website, except, so I exclude it on the singular front page. Otherwise, I have two headers and that's not working. Save and close. So now, ladies and gentlemen, if I go to the home page, I see this transparent header. And if I go to the about page, I see this header. And you see this over here. Maybe you think that looks weird. That's okay, because we're going to work on that. So we have a header with a transparent background for the homepage. If I scroll down, it looks like that. It's optimized for all devices. And if I go to a different page, I see the other one. And if I scroll down, which is not possible because of the height of the page, but then also a new header looking like this will appear. And I can also decide to change it if I want to. So I can have a different header over here than when I scroll, because if I take a look at the structure, I can create a different looking header over here. So I'm happy. I hope you are too. Let me exit to WordPress or just close this and go to the homepage. And one more time, enjoy this header by scrolling down, seeing it, going back up, and then it disappears. I'm happy. I hope you are too. You can also use the Elementor Pro pop-up builder to create a menu for your website. Let me show you how. In order to create this, we need to scroll down a bit further. Over here, create a pop-up header using Elementor Pro. Click over here and then you can watch that tutorial. Now we're going to create a mega menu using Elementor Pro. Let me show you how. This is how the mega menu looks. And in order to learn how to do that, go to the same Elementor Pro page at ferdy.com. And over here you see create a mega menu using Elementor Pro. Click over here and then you can watch that tutorial. Thank you for watching this tutorial. This tutorial is part of a complete Elementor Pro tutorial that you can watch for free by going to ferdy.com/Elementor Pro. Hit enter and there you see the tutorial and all the other tutorials that are attached to that tutorial, so you can learn anything you need to learn in order to create amazing websites using Elementor Pro. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you like this video, then please like the video and feel free to subscribe for more upcoming tutorials on how to make websites and generate money with them. Have a great day and good luck with your business and with your life.